Alright guys, I seen one more thing before I left. I don't know if you can see this tree right here. The one that's making obscene gestures. And he's just letting it all hang out. I've been coming across those a lot here lately. And some are bigger than others, but they're pointing down, which I find is odd because most plants, the limbs grow up towards the sunlight. Let me back out the zoom here. But I think it's a gum tree or beech. And I think it's a gum because it's got them like little warts on the side of the bark. Yeah, I was just interested in these obscene trees here. If I don't fall off the log I'm standing on here. See, it does have a, it's even got a wrinkle above it. Look like he mowed the patch up there above it. See the little warts that go down. Zoom in on those. It's hard to hold still. The Knights of the Golden Circle in this area also, and but there's I was reading a story here the other day about Big Springs, which is Marengo now, but it used to be called Big Springs. Back in the 1900s, early 1900s, we had an Indian. He was come back into town. He was described as a vagrant, and he's kind of shunned, and this couple outside of town there, they took him in, and he stayed for 3 days, and he said he was looking for his like the land of his fathers, or where his relatives were buried, kind of deal. And yeah, I believe that is an oak. I don't know if it'd be could be that old or not. So anyway, he was gone 3 days, and supposedly he remarked the trees, is my understanding. That's because he told them to, if you follow the trees, you will find them, his relatives. I think in the book they described it as, you will follow the trees and you will find the legend, a treasure worth of great wealth. But what made me think of that one, see that one, is there's another one right here, right beside it. This is like a 3-pronger, and sorry, I got a bunch of briars and shit here, and you see this monstrosity, and, a bunch of briars, so I hope it ain't too terrible. And I think this is another oak. And I mean, it could be a survey kind of marker tree, I reckon, but it has that coming out on all 3 sides there, that like burl, and that's coming out on all 3 sides on this big 3-prong oak tree. Oh, excuse me, at the base. And so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just noticed this tree here. It's kind of within the range of, he was a mile east of Marengo's where he was staying at, and he was only gone a couple of days. You know, he would go out and come back, go out and come back, go out and come back. So he wasn't going actually too far. And so I just want to point this tree out. I mean, this that sure does look like a thong tree. And if you know, if he did it in early 1900s, it's only be 100 years old. If the tree's been manipulated like that, it could possibly grow slower, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. You know, I'm no tree expert. And I just happened upon this tree. Big shagbark hickory, it looks like. Bunch of briars. Got this big oak. You know, I'm always going about my trees 3-prongers. But there was a 4-pronger. Last year I pulled a big oak, big limb out of this. Well, it's been a couple more years than that. Maybe 3 years ago I pulled a big limb. It was a hollow, and it was a great big hollow limb. I saved a bunch of logs over at the house. They're probably 2-3 years old. I think this here was a 4-pronger, fellas. I just can't really remember. But I know I pulled a big ass, unless it was on top of this, because this ain't hollow up here. So it was definitely a different limb. Yeah, it was a 4-pronger with a big hollow on the side. Hollow. Yeah, this is down at Mom's. And see that big ridge over there? Yeah, if you go over there, it's a bluff. It's like a cliff on the Great Blue River, because it's going through the Narrows and the Horseshoe Bend of Blue River. It's like this hill behind me has water all the way around it almost. Like in one spot, I seen it gushing out of the ground, 3 foot off the ground, coming out of a crack, coming out of a rock wall, gushing out at like it seemed like about 3 foot above the ground, just shooting out. And this big old 4-pronger with a hollow pointing over there at this hill. And that's last year we had a 6 to 9 month old Purdue heifer fell in a sinkhole over here, and it was it appeared in like a year at the top of this hill, well, almost the top of the hill, 3/4 way up. And it went down like 30 foot and then over 10 foot, or over, yeah, because I used a 20-foot ladder dangled on a rope, because I beaver slid in to get to my ladder. And then I had to go over like 10 to 15 feet to get this cow, and it was down ass first in a crevice. And I had to hug it and tell I love it and hope it didn't kick me and keep on licking me. And so I get my cow lick, I guess. And but it was so dehydrated it couldn't hardly move. It just loved me. It made it about a month, and that was it. But sorry for the sad news, but yeah, I gotta get on this tree.